Yeah, welcome to another edition of the Weege Show. Quick stop in here in a parking lot to meet up with none other than Justin Brayton. Oh yeah, we both had a quick trip home to the greater Charlotte area before returning to the races for Atlanta 2, which will be tomorrow on Tuesday. It's really sad that Brayton is out of racing, but he does still go to the races and hang out, so why not hop in and get a ride with him? In fact, we'll even go Honda Ridgeline to Ridgeline. He's got one, I've got one. You've got to believe in the Honda four-wheel product. You know, it'd be awesome. This Ridgeline can tow 5,000 pounds, and that would be enough for me to tow a trailer with a Honda Talon Sports side-by-side in it. I'd take any of them. I'd take a two-seater model. My wife and I will go rip around and tape the kids to the tree, or like zip tie the zipper shut on a tent or something so they'll be safe while we drive. Or we'll get a four-seater model, maybe the Fox Live Valve Shocks Edition, maybe an X model, really nimble, or an R model with 20 inches of travel. We'll enjoy 1,000 cc's of four-stroke power. Got to admire the Honda four-wheel lineup. Now, I'd love to say great things about Brayton's two-wheeled machine, but he is out for the rest of the season with a wrist injury. It's thinned that hashtag deep field just a little bit in Monster Energy Supercross. But man, being back at the races and watching Atlanta 1 on Saturday, I have to say it's still pretty deep. Every week there is this amazing chase pack, somewhere around the 5th to 10th range, and you don't always get to see all of it on TV because obviously they're going to be focused on the guys that are up front, and anything can happen at any time. Like Aaron Plessinger could fall down while being in the lead. Got to keep cameras on that. They had him in a double box to make it happen. There was so much chaos behind. You had Justin Barcia saw an opening, sliced inside of Jason Anderson. Then Barcia lost the front end. He actually bumped Anderson. Anderson lost the nub off his shifter. And while Barcia was getting up, he slowed up Ken Roczen. It actually became a battle to see who could be laster, dead or last, through the first turns between Barcia on the ground, Roczen waiting for him to move out of the way, and then Dylan Ferrandis fell separately behind them. I think Ferrandis was even further back, so he was deadest of the lastest. And then Ferrandis came all the way back through for 5th, and the last 4 laps of the race, he passed 5 guys. Ferrandis was absolutely on fire. But all he and Anderson, by the way, had a good day going with fastest in qualifying and winning a heat from behind. All those 2 guys could really articulate after the races. This field is tough. If you don't get the start, you could be happy with your riding, but you're not going to be happy with your result. And don't just take my word for it. Here they are to speak about it in the post-race press conference that was held on Sunday evening.
Yeah, I feel like I care a little bit more right now. I've been enjoying myself riding and just trying to, better myself from week in and week out. And honestly, like during the week, I've been enjoying my practicing during the week and stuff like that. So I think as far as riding, it's been getting better at the races, but I still don't think my results show how good I'm riding. But I think that's just, I need to get my starts and get up front, but it's hard because there's so many guys that are good right now, and you go into that first corner and the top 10 on the inside of the box are all factory guys, and there's more on the outside. So it's crazy.
Kind of the same thing that we were just asking of Jason Anderson. Are you happy because you're riding well, or are you frustrated because it's not resulting in results? Which do you take a positive from?
For sure, I wasn't happy because we had some struggling with the bike. I think all the rider in the team, and because like I said, in the past, like it's the first year at Star Racing team with the 450. So everybody is just learning the bike, learning the program, learning just the all 450 works. It's hard, like Jason said. Like there's so many good guys. Just getting good start is so difficult. So everybody's learning, and the bike. The bike is a good bike for sure, but I think need some adjustment for every rider. And I just understand lately that I'm riding different than my teammates, so I need a different setting. And that's what we found, and we make some change during the break, the last 2 weeks off we had, and it kind of pay off. I felt much better on the bike, and I could ride like myself, which I kind of couldn't do before. And yesterday, same. We still see that physically and the speed was there, so it's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, it's I mean, I rode for win, so until I'm not on the podium, I'm not really happy. And yeah, I need to work on myself on that, because like I said before, it's only one guy can win, and yeah, sometimes I'm a little too mad at me, and I shouldn't, because the riding is not so bad. So it's hard. It's really hard, but yeah, I need to learn that, and that's the 450. It's hard.
Boy, Ferrandis kind of bummed out there despite the good riding, but there was reason to think that's going to go well for him again. Not only the bike improvements, but the races where Ferrandis has gone fast are the races with really nasty whoops. Now, they were especially bad at the first Atlanta Saturday because of the rain, led to slickness, and then it was drying out, and no one knew what lines to use. And when the whoops get absolutely super bad and hammered, Ferrandis can still skim them when most riders can't. It's very impressive, and that's where he does his best riding, and he's able to pass guys at will when you can go that much faster than them on one section of the track. Now, we probably won't have the rain-mud situation at Atlanta too, but otherwise the track is basically the same. They're just running in the opposite direction, and those whoops are going to be nasty even if it's dry all day, so that could be advantage Ferrandis. But like he and Anderson say, you have to start up front, and you have to maybe adjust your standards a little bit, and you expect to win races, you want to be on podiums. It's not quite that easy. And one other rider that's affected by that is Joey Savatgy, who is also in that pack. He's had a series of 8th place finishes now, not bad. He's in that 5 to 10 pack, which always provides great racing. But Joey, he actually said that his issues this year were a lot more serious than just dealing with getting through the pack.
Yeah, this will be for Joey. So, Joey, back in February, you alluded to struggling a little bit with mental health, and you're just struggling a little bit on and off the bike. Obviously, we're a couple months back from that. How are you feeling with it? How is it all going? Is stuff getting turned around? Just more so on and off the bike. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I think I think you're the first one to really have asked that question since it's really been posted. And I got a lot of mixed reviews, I guess you should say, on that. And just to clear it up now, like, the mental health is definitely huge. And a lot of people struggle with it in different ways. And by no means did I mean that in like I'm in a dark place, like I hate to say this, like I don't want to be here type of way, but it was more of like I'm just struggling with demons as far as injury related, not trusting what I'm doing, and just thinking too much about the past and what has happened in the past. So it was more of like it was a mental block for me, and a lot of injury demons on my shoulder talking. Not so much of I'm in a dark spot, like I'm depressed type thing. It was just like I just had a lot of chatter going on in my brain, and since then it has gotten better. And I've talked with some people and figured out some things, and just didn't try to rush it. Obviously, the sooner I can get under control, the better. But it's one of those things that you can't just click and things get better. So it's an ongoing process, but it's going in the right direction. My mental space is better, and just I'm trying to enjoy it. Even on tough days, I got to remind myself that I'm doing what I wanted to do since I was a little kid, and there's little kids out there that would kill to be in the spot I'm in. So it's just.
I do applaud Savatgy for being honest about that. But look, I feel bad for these guys. They're riding very well. That 5th to 10th group, not always seen. The efforts don't always go rewarded. They want podiums. They want wins. Let's pump everybody up. Let's liven up this party. We'll bring Aaron Plessinger in, and I will show you how he can turn what sounds like a bad situation, which is Savatgy not being able to pass him after Plessinger went down. Then Plessinger gets involved in the conversation, and it turns into a joke fest.
I had a very good chance last night, and I didn't capitalize. Jason had passed me, and I was able to kind of latch onto the back of him, and then we both caught Aaron, and Jason got around Aaron, and I wasn't able to do that. And unfortunately, he wasn't holding me up, but it was just enough to where I was getting roosted behind Aaron, and I actually got quite a bit of arm pump from eating roost and trying to go places that where I hadn't been going.
I mean, I kind of felt bad for Joey because I was riding a wide bike out there, but yeah, I was just trying to keep the best position possible and not freak out too bad.
Yeah, I need to throw some elbows next time.
Yeah, that was
whatever I put. You must have given it to me because I got it also.
Ah, yeah. The legend of Aaron Plessinger continues to grow. We were so afraid when he moved up to the 450 class that he would tighten up and become all politically correct like most riders do, but we live in a different era now. He has not changed a bit. If anything, he's even more outgoing. Exclamation point with that epic podium speech at Daytona, and his reputation with the fans is growing quickly. With the limited crowd we do here at the races, have you noticed that you're becoming a bit of a fan favorite? Because they were getting pretty loud when you were leading.
Yeah. I mean, the fan response from Daytona has been unreal. They obviously liked when I said do it for Dale, and yeah, they've been backing me ever since. But you know, I have a lot of I kind of grew up down this way for a couple years of my amateur life, and made a lot of friends down here, and I know I could hear them. I could hear where they were sitting, and it was pretty loud when I was leading the race. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yes, the fan feedback has been unreal ever since Daytona.
Yeah, so it's all coming up Aaron Plessinger right now, even though he admitted while leading that 450 race that he made a mistake. He actually was afraid of making a mistake, so he purposely backed it down a little bit to avoid making mistakes. And then you start riding differently, and then he started making mistakes, and then he crashed and threw it away. But he was still not even depressed about that, still having a good old time. Really, you should be if you're Aaron Plessinger, because he is in a fantastic situation right now. We had already heard Steve Mathis reporting that KTM has offered Plessinger a deal for next year. Plessinger has an option to stay at Yamaha. Now he has two suitors. And the money offer, I'd have to think, is going to be pretty good, because if you're Yamaha, you now absolutely, positively have to keep Plessinger on blue bikes. Just these laps, let alone prove it. He is on the incline. He's going to win a race and get multiple podiums soon. It's going to happen. And what you don't want is this natural career arc, this natural trajectory he's on, to culminate with race wins on another brand of bike. Yamaha's already had that problem before, and the reputation of the YZ450F in Supercross, which they are so desperately trying to fix, to the point where they shuttled their own factory team and handed the keys over to Star Racing Yamaha to try to fix it. You can't let it go away when you're right on the precipice of a breakthrough right now. I mean, this rep for the bike goes all the way back to the James Stewart days, almost a dozen years ago, when this style of motorcycle first debuted. Now they have Plessinger on the breakthrough. They cannot let him go to another brand and start winning for someone else, lest it be KTM, who has enough success already, and they already did this trick with Cooper Webb before. So if you're Plessinger, you're probably going to get paid big time. I don't think that's why he's smiling, though. That's just normal personality, and that's really cool, because I think we were, again, all afraid that we were going to lose that out of Plessinger when he moved to the big class. Now it's like people are begging for him to win heat races or get on the podium just so they can hear what he has to say in an interview. He's breaking out of that Chase pack. He and the actual guy named Chase Sexton. Can one of them do it? Can they get a win at Atlanta 2 and finish what they couldn't quite finish in Atlanta 1? Or could Ferrandis get at least a halfway decent start and use that whoop prowess to his advantage? Is someone from this 5 to 10 Chase pack going to put it on the box, win a race, and break up that party up front? For me, that's the story going to Atlanta 2. Well, that and hooking up with Justin Brayton for a ride to the track.